Why adults secretly feel lost in life. There comes a moment in life, quiet, almost invisible, when something inside you begins to shift. Not loud, not dramatic, not something anyone else can see, but you feel it. Nothing changes on the outside. Your life may look normal, even successful. You wake up. You go to work. You respond to messages. You laugh at conversations. You play your role. And from the outside, everything seems fine. But beneath all of that, there is a feeling, a subtle, persistent sense that something is missing. Not something you can easily explain, but something you can't ignore. It shows up in silence when the noise fades, when distractions disappear. And in those quiet moments, a question begins to form. Is this really the life I'm meant to live? If you've ever felt this way, then stay with me, because what you're feeling is more important than you think. Many adults experience this, but very few talk about it, because admitting you feel lost in a world where everyone pretends to have direction feels like weakness. So people hide it. They smile, they keep moving, they distract themselves, but inside, the question never leaves. And here is the truth most people never hear. Feeling lost is not a failure. It is a signal that something inside you is trying to wake up. When you were younger, life felt different. There was structure, clear steps, clear expectations, clear direction. You were told what to do, where to go, what success looked like. And because of that, you didn't question much. You simply followed. School gave you direction. Exams gave you purpose. Progress felt measurable. There was always a next step waiting, always something to chase, always something to achieve, and that made life feel certain. But then life changes. The structure disappears, the path becomes unclear, the instructions stop. And suddenly, you are no longer following a system. You are expected to create your own. No roadmap, no clear direction, no guarantees. And that is where many people begin to feel lost. Not because they are weak, not because they are incapable, but because they were never taught how to live without instructions. They were taught how to follow, how to meet expectations, how to avoid failure, how to seek approval. And for a while, that works. You build a life, you achieve things, you move forward, but eventually, something feels off. You pause and realize something uncomfortable. You have built a life based on expectations that may not truly belong to you. Expectations from family, expectations from society, expectations shaped by comparison. And slowly, without even noticing, you begin to disconnect from yourself. You look around and you see people succeeding. Money, status, recognition. And quietly, you begin to measure your life against theirs. You start asking, am I behind? Should I be doing more? Why does it feel like everyone else is ahead of me? And just like that, pressure begins to grow. Pressure to keep up, pressure to succeed, pressure to not fall behind. But here's the truth. You are comparing your inner reality to someone else's outer appearance, and you are comparing your doubts to their highlights. your confusion to their confidence. And that comparison will always make you feel like you're losing. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them." And many adults judge their entire lives through comparison. They believe that if they are not where others are, they are failing. Even if they are growing, even if they are learning, even if they are becoming stronger in ways no one sees. And this is where the feeling of being lost deepens. Because now you are no longer living your life. You are chasing an image that was never yours. And the more you chase it, the further you drift from who you truly are. If this is already making you think differently, take a second and subscribe to Iron Mind. Because this channel is not about noise, it's about clarity. It's about building a mind that cannot be easily shaken. And if you stay till the end, you'll understand something most people never realize. Another truth most people avoid is this: modern life is designed to distract you. Endless scrolling, constant stimulation, non-stop noise. Instead of facing themselves, people escape into distraction, not because they are lazy, but because silence is uncomfortable. Silence forces you to confront something real, the realization that you don't fully understand yourself. And that realization can be unsettling, but the people who grow are the ones who face it. They sit in the silence. They reflect. They observe their thoughts. They ask questions most people avoid. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Does this actually matter to me? Or am I just following a path I never chose? These questions are not easy, but they are necessary, because clarity does not come from avoiding confusion. It comes from facing it. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." And when you truly understand this, everything begins to change. You stop looking outward for answers and begin looking inward. You start to notice patterns, what drains you, what energizes you, what feels meaningful, and what feels empty. You begin to wake up, not suddenly, but gradually, and something powerful happens. The feeling of being lost begins to transform. It becomes curiosity. Instead of asking, "Why am I lost?" you begin to ask, "What am I meant to explore?" And that shift changes everything. Because now you are not stuck. You are searching. You are not confused. You are discovering, and for the first time, you begin to live intentionally. You realize that not having everything figured out is not a weakness. It is freedom. Freedom to choose your path. Freedom to redefine success. Freedom to become who you truly are. So if you feel lost, do not run from it. Do not numb it. Do not distract yourself from it. Listen to it, because that feeling is not your enemy. It is your mind trying to guide you back to yourself. And if this message resonates with you, then this is your moment. Subscribe to Iron Mind, because in a world full of noise, distraction, and endless pressure, the greatest power you can build is a calm mind, a focused mind, an unshakable mind, an iron mind.